The England cricket team are currently feeling the fire, not only from the Aussies, because they are currently 0-2 down in the Ashes Test series after just 2 Test matches, and will basically need to win the next 3 matches if they are to win the series. But they're also facing plenty of criticism from their own. A lot of ex-players have been very critical of how it is the England team have gone about this Test series so far, and perhaps none more so than Geoffrey Boycott. Now, Boycott was questioning the England team's preparations even prior to the series, saying that why is it that they're not playing any warm-up matches? And it turns out that he's been justified. His worry as such has been vindicated. Not that he'd be too happy, but that hasn't stopped him from taking more than a few pot shots at the England camp, specifically skipper Ben Stokes and even the coach Brendon McCullum. In fact, he's gone further on and questioned the entire team, although he reserves some special vitriol for one particular player. We'll get to that one in just a bit. First off, though, let's see what it is that he had to say about the way that they are playing. And this one, well, it's a stinging rebuke. He said that with this sort of batting and bowling, they couldn't win an egg cup, let alone the Ashes urn. And again, yikes. That is brutal. But if you think this is brutal, I promise you it'll continue to get worse, because he absolutely goes on a tear and rips the entire England team apart with his words. Hard to disagree with what it is he's saying. Their batting and bowling have both been abysmal. And as he says, never mind winning the Ashes, you're not even winning the egg cup at this point in time. But he reserves special ire for the head coach and the captain, Ben Stokes and Brendon McCullum. This is what he had to say about them. He said that what a load of bull. We can't believe anything Ben or his team say. None of them wants to listen to anyone outside of their own camp. And again, this is something I can't disagree with. One thing is that they've insulated themselves and kept themselves laser focused. But if your methods aren't working out and you're being given some friendly advice from outside, might not be the worst idea in the world to actually hear it out rather than just go around blocking your ears. That doesn't really serve anyone, right? And it gets worse when he talks about their entire perception and the attitude it is that they carry, because this is what he had to say. He said that they're up their own backsides, convinced that Test cricket has changed so much that only they know anything about the modern game. And again, it's hard to disagree with his assessment. I don't often find myself agreeing with a lot of things that Boycott has to say. He's a questionable character in the best of times. But it's hard to disagree with what he's saying here. Test cricket, as he says, Baz and Co think that, Test cricket has changed so much that only we know how to succeed. But that's not really true, because they haven't had that much success even under Baz. Certainly not in the bigger series. They've consistently been found wanting. And as he says, if they think it's changed, I don't think it's changed at a personal level. I think Test cricket has by and large remained the same. The ebbs and flows of the game have remained the same. The way to play it also shouldn't really change. They've tried. Bless their hearts, they've tried, but it hasn't worked out at all. And in fact, one of the things that's been symptomatic of the issues has been an inclusion of players who might not necessarily be good Test players, who may have impressed in other formats, but who aren't necessarily good Test players. And one such instance of this in the last Test was the inclusion of Will Jacks. And as I said, if you think Geoffrey Boycott was harsh on these two, let's see what it is he had to say about Will Jacks. He said that no disrespect, but Will Jacks is a hit and giggle batsman in T20, and my mum could play his bowling with my proverbial stick of rhubarb. Oh my God. Geoffrey, please hold up and give us a chance to actually digest some of these things before hitting us with something like that. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is a classic Geoffrey Boycott dialogue to play down a certain player's bowling, saying that, no, my mum could play his bowling with my proverbial stick of rhubarb. It's an old phrase of his. He's used it a lot in commentary. But for Will Jacks to get it, yikes. But not entirely wrong either. Jacks isn't a Test bowler. At best, he's a bits and pieces T20 bowler, and his batting, as he says, hit and giggle in T20s. Yeah, Jacks works well in the shorter format. Does that make him a good long format player? Probably not, but he is symptomatic of the Bazball struggle, trying to play red ball cricket the white ball way and failing, and then wondering why it is that they're failing. That's what makes it even more baffling. So, well, that's what Boycott had to say, and as I said, I find it rare that I agree with him so much, but hard to disagree with whatever it is he's saying. What do you guys feel? Let us know that though in the comments, and don't forget as always to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, X and Facebook, and stay tuned for more such videos from the world of sport.